All right. First name Patrick, last name Colbeck, C-O-L-B-E-C-K.
Go ahead.
All right. Thank you for this opportunity to address the State Board of Canvassers. The Michigan Department State Bureau of Elections specifies that the purpose of canvassers is to verify the proper completion of records related to the election. The very process of canvassing referred to in MCL 168.842.1 is a form of an audit if performed with any degree of integrity. I understand that you're under tremendous peer pressure from those who falsely assert that there is no evidence of election process subversion. They earnestly seek your issuance of a rubber stamp certification of this election. I understand you're also under pressure from people such as myself who have actually taken the time to review almost 200 affidavits attesting to election process subversion impacting the integrity of election records in the city of Detroit alone. We seek a substantive, truly independent audit of both the paper and electronic records pertinent to the chain of custody before considering the question of certification. In support of my perspective, I share the following pertinent information. I served 2 terms as Michigan State Senator for the 7th District in Wayne County. I served as Vice Chair of the Senate Elections and Government Reform Committee. I am a certified Microsoft Small Business Specialist and very familiar with computer network configurations. I served as poll challenger certified by the Election Integrity Fund from 5 p.m. on November 3rd to 5:30 p.m. on November 4th at the Detroit AV Counting Board. I was physically present for 3.5 hours at the Wayne County Board of Canvassers meeting in Detroit on November 17th, where I witnessed that the election results were not certified. In order to ensure that a proper completion of election records has been accomplished, it is critical that there is a clear chain of custody maintained for the election. If any single link in this chain has been broken, there is no proper completion of election records and the results of the election are not certifiable. In the interest of time, I will focus only on 2 links in the chain of custody for this election, but I can provide evidence that many others that have been broken during this election cycle. Link number 1 is a qualified voter file. The Michigan Qualified Voter File contains 8.1 million registered voters, but a rudimentary demographics analysis demonstrates that only 7.8 million would be of voting age. This means that we have at least 300,000 more people on our voting rolls than we should have. In Ann Arbor alone, there are 114,375 registered voters, yet only 92,222 of voting age. Furthermore, the official vote results for Wayne County shows 0 registered voters against a tally of 172,337 votes. Breakage of this fundamental link in the chain of custody subverts the integrity of all links downstream, including the vote tally, no matter how diligent county and municipal clerks are in the execution of their duties. Link number 2 is the vote tally itself. I can personally attest to a break in the chain of custody for vote tallies due to visible Ethernet connections between tabulators, adjudicators, and local data center workstations, including evidence of internet connectivity at the Detroit AV Counting Board, where 172,337 votes were reported as tabulated. If the vote tally link in the chain of custody is broken, we cannot have faith in accurate election results due to the significant breaches in the chain of custody.
Your time is done, and I will have to
not
mute
only
you.
the
Okay,
I'm
I'd
sorry.
like to ask a question.
Okay. Would you like to? That's fine. All right.
Okay, Mr. Colbeck, where'd you go? I don't need to look at him, I suppose. It would be nice. Yeah, Mr. Colbeck, Senator Norm Schenkel here.
Yeah, thank you. By the way, that was timed out to 3 minutes exactly beforehand, so I don't know when you started your clock.
It's 3 minutes. Listen, Senator, you were talking about your observations where you believe a tabulator was connected to the internet.
Absolutely.
This is part of the accusations against Dominion, which haven't been brought up at all today. But with your observations, just paraphrase for us what you think was going on.
Well, first of all, people should know that the actual Dominion manual for their election officials on site for IT support staff specified an Ethernet connection for their tabulators. So the first question that I asked Chris Thomas when I got on that floor, I wanted to know about the chain of custody regarding vote tallies. I wanted to know how they were going to transport the vote from each one of those tabulators up the chain. And he said he did not know. This is a state election director for 2 decades, right? He's been promoted as their star witness for everything elections related, and he told me he did not know the fundamental transformation of chain of custody around vote tallies. So the fact that these tabulators were networked together to routers, to the adjudicators, to the local data center, which was controlled by officials like Chris Thomas and Nick Iconicon with Dominion, is a very serious concern. Even if it wasn't connected to the internet, that local data center controlled the vote tallies for 134 AV counting boards. They could modify it any way they wanted to because they had direct access to those tabulators via that central stage. They were networked together. There's physical connections on there. I will attest that it was connected to the internet as well, because all you had to do was walk around all the different terminals and you can see the internet connectivity icon on all of them. When you open that up to a wide area network like that, you immediately breach the chain of custody. You may as well ripped off the seal on the envelope in a flash drive when you're transferring it from a precinct to the clerk's office. It's the same thing that happens because you can hack into a election system in a matter of seconds.
Okay, and my last question is a follow-up. I'm sure you brought this up.
I did. I asked.
Ethernet cord from tabulators to second locations, and did you get any satisfactory response?
Well, I got a direct response. Daniel Baxter told me point blank, no, they're not connected to the internet. Then I went to David Nathan, former state representative. He said specifically, no. When I pressed on him, I said, all you have to do is roll your little mouse over that cursor on that little icon in the bottom right-hand corner, and it'll tell you in words saying this is connected to the internet. And he refused to do so and said, you'll have to trust me. Well, I'm sorry. The job of the poll challenge is to make sure that we ensure integrity of this election. There was nothing that would have been modified around election results by him mousing it over. It only brings me to the conclusion that they were attempting to subvert the election and hide the fact that they were doing so. Those computers were connected to the internet. As a minimum, they were connected to that local data center and via routers that I can attest to. And I've done a network topology diagram depicting that.
Senator Colbeck, thank you for your interest, time, and effort you put in trying to improve the election process. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.